What's happening? It's Reverend, coming from DVENCE Productions, the new little setup. I know it's been a little minute. No excuses made, especially when you're trying to deliver a message like I'm trying to. So, the only thing we can really do is get back on track. So, thanks for tuning in, and we're going to get right into it. So, I feel like towards the second episode, I kind of got away from the original, purpose of doing this video, which is pretty much break down scripture and just deliver a good word, deliver the good word. So in hopes to correct that and get back on a proper track, I basically broke down a full chapter, Matthew chapter 5, and just put a lot of notes and bullets for pretty much my understanding of it. So this is pretty much a chapter breakdown. Hopefully it helps give you clarity. Any other questions you may have, please feel free, and I feel like we can learn together. So let's get right into it. And I broke it down by sections, that way, we're not just droning on and over talking, I say. So it's gonna hit you with some scripture, then I'll give my little 2 cents. So starting off from Matthew chapter 5, basically Jesus saw the crowds and sat on the mountain to teach his disciples. He taught that the humble and insignificant, the mourners who cry, basically, the grievers, if you're grieving, actual mourning, tears. The patient and long-suffering, those hungry and thirsty for righteousness, the merciful, pure in heart, the makers and maintainers of peace, those persecuted for being and doing right, those who have evil and false things said against them are blessed, spiritually prosperous, enviably fortunate, and satisfied, reaping God's favor regardless of outward conditions. Your reward in heaven is great. Now, when I first read it, honestly, that whole thing was a big contradiction, because how can you be so patient? How can you be so long-suffering? If you don't know what that is, basically means you can handle a lot. Trials, obstacles, shortcomings, a bunch of stuff coming at you, but you still persevere through it, from my understanding. And to be pure in heart, be of good moral character, basically being a good person, and still have people talk down about you, still have people expecting you to fail or hoping that you fail, people targeting you basically as some type of mark, some type of goofy. Basically all the bad that happens to you is just supposed to happen because you're of good character. That didn't make sense to me, if I'm being completely honest. Because it seems like based off all of these things, being pure in heart, maintainers of peace, stuff like that, why don't you deserve the good? Why don't you deserve peace? Why don't you deserve the blessings? Why don't you deserve people applauding you? People wanting to hear what you have to say rather than judging you, putting you down, and, just persecuting you. That doesn't make sense to me. But in terms of the scripture, it's basically saying those people who get it the worst will have it the best when it comes to meeting God, getting to heaven, And even on earth, like a lot of people go through, well, not a lot of people, but pretty much everybody has seasons where they're down, low as it can possibly get, and then you'll have a mean high season. Like you'll just start reaping a lot of blessings, a lot of opportunities, open doors, answers, like the adrenaline is up, your passion is up and high. And that's just the roller coaster of life, But it seems like, that saying that bad things happen to good people, that's kind of how the start of the chapter sits with me. Bad things happening to good people. But, your reward in heaven is great. So staying pure through that, staying unaffected, well, it's pretty impossible to be unaffected through negativity like that severe. But maintaining good character, good morals, being peaceful, still looking out for people, even people that couldn't care less about you. It's like still maintaining that. It shows like how high you are on on God's list because it's not easy. That's the confusing part. We think initially that doing all of this, life is supposed to get easier and easier, but with experience, you'll see that's not the case. It gets harder, it gets more difficult, and it's more of a challenge to try and maintain that type of mentality, that type of peace, that type of character. But God hasn't forgot about you. As much as it feels like it sometimes, He hasn't forgotten. It's not over with, and keep going, because the world needs it. It's a lot of negativity. It's enough of gossipers. It's enough of wannabe gangsters. It's enough of hot girls. It's enough of city girls. It's plenty of it out there. But where's the good at? You know, it's not much that you see because it's not popular. You know, don't nobody want to hear that. That's not what's playing in the club. You don't see the club getting filled with Bible class, having Bible studies. You don't see that because it goes against basically what the devil has to bring more people to him than to God, if I'm being honest. You know, so that was just the first portion. So next portion, you are the salt of the earth and the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. So let your light shine before men to see your moral excellence, nobility, good deeds, and honor. Praise your Father in heaven. So this is kind of like a flex as I looked at it, because that quote, a city set on a hill cannot be hidden, I don't think at first I understood how much weight that sentence carried. Because if you think about it, if you look on top of a mountain and you see a random house there, it's automatically going to draw eyes, you know, because you stand out from the crowd. You're not in the gated community. You're not within whatever project home, section houses, whatever it is. You're not, you know, succumbing to what's around you. You stand apart from it. So people are going to see that automatically. Good people, morally good people of good character, you stand out. And because you stand out, that brings hate, that warrants negativity. It's sad, but it's human nature. You know, humans are very jealous, humans are very envious, and sadly, humans can be very just dark. You know, we like having our own light. We like being noticed. We like being heard. We like feeling important. You know, but with that mentality, it's very easy to let that turn into manipulation, obsession of power, greed. You know, you start being willing to do anything just to hold on to that type of attention. You know, that's where it turns ugly. That's where you get people gossiping about, well, he's too positive, he's not gonna blow because of this, and like, it's just unnecessary hate that really doesn't make sense. Because when you think about it, folks, in my opinion, like Charleston White and Jaguar Wright, Orlando Brown, those people, to me, from the outside looking in, are morally good character. They care about people. They involved in the environment, involved in the community. And what? They stand out because they're away from the crowd. But what else? They get the most hate. They get a lot of attention. They get a lot of negative attention. A lot of people that make fun of them. A lot of people that, you know, want to tear their character down just because of who they are, just because they don't think like you. So God pretty much lets us know, because you think differently, because you want to follow me, because you want to do better, because you want to go against what the world accepts, people are going to hate you for it. He tells you that, you know. So I don't know where it gets misconstrued, that once you start following God, everything's just supposed to fall in line, everybody's supposed to love you and stuff like that, but it ain't the case. But always remember, a city set on a hill cannot be hidden. So don't be afraid to stand out. It's who you are. It's who you were made to be. You know? So keep doing it. Third section. You should never kill. Refuse to be in right standing with God. Be angry or hold grudges against your brother. Speak insults to others, such as cursed fool, empty-headed idiot, stupid motherfucker, stuff like that. Come to terms with your accusers. Make peace with your brothers. Avoid committing adultery, looking at any woman with evil desire, for you've already committed the act in your heart. Remove your eye if it deceives you or leads you to sin, or your hand if it prompts you to stumble into sin. Remove the member, save the body from hell. This one was tough because it hits home to a lot of subjects that I've sadly done and fall victim to. I haven't killed anybody. Refused to be in right standing with God. I have done that simply out of pride and anger, because I felt like an opportunity that was for me didn't come to me. I felt like envious, jealous, because I feel like my talent, my skill, my ability, my desire, and my character warrants good things, but I see people who don't do half of what I do, or as well as I do, receive benefits and opportunities and blessings that I never get to see. And from the outside looking in, that just forms envy on the inside a little bit, because it's like, yeah, I'm doing great things, but it's like my dreams, the things that I used to feel that I really wanted, it seems like I don't want them anymore because those people are getting it. Like, so it must not be for me. And that's hard to accept, because you get so attached to what you think you're supposed to achieve, what you think your future is going to look like. And when it doesn't turn out exactly like that, it feels like, oh, bruh, like, where did I go wrong? What did I do? But in honesty, God's looking out for you, and you don't know what that person did or has been through to get to that point. You haven't seen their moments of isolation. You haven't seen their nights of tears. You haven't seen the work they put in. You haven't seen the deals that they possibly made. You haven't seen the shortcuts that they probably took. It's a lot of blurred lines and a lot of gray areas you never know about. So looking at somebody else's journey, trying to compare it to that, it's like, you really can't do that. That's really dangerous. Because if you try to jump in that same thing, not knowing what they do or experiencing what they did, you could potentially die. Simple as that. You could die, you could lose it, you can endanger yourself, you can endanger your loved ones. It can go completely bad. So initially you just have to catch yourself when you get that feeling of envy, that feeling of jealousy. You just gotta check yourself, like, you know what? God bless them, congratulations, and I hope you maintain it well, and I hope God blesses you with more. That's in His will for you. You gotta catch yourself doing that, but it's not easy all the time. Don't hold grudges against your brother. I used to have that bad, because it's like, I forgive, I don't forget. I don't see how that goes together at all. I remember, and sometimes it's to my detriment. I still remember stuff when I was 4 years old. I think that's the furthest back I go. But, I don't know why my memory does that to me. And a lot of times it's more negative than it is good. So I remember times where people have talked about me, thought that I didn't hear. I remember times where I let a lot of situations slide because I didn't want my temper to, take a situation where I really wanted to take it, because nobody would have been happy. Somebody would have gotten hurt. I don't enjoy that. I don't enjoy people trying me, because I feel like I'm a good guy. I feel like I'm a kind person. I feel like I have a good heart. So the fact that you would try me simply because you think you know me, or because you think that I won't react, or you think that I'm not capable of giving you the reaction you're looking for, that I don't appreciate, So I either have to distance myself, or I just have to set it straight in that moment, Like, I can't let nobody talk for me. Like, just the other day, 4th of July, it was a guy who kind of started talking out of turn, with a situation that had went down. And rather than let my friend, because they were close already, I haven't interacted with this dude a lot, he was trying to, defend or speak up for what I had to say, and I had to tell him, no, don't speak up for me. What's your question? And then, we had our little dialogue. That got a little intense, but that just goes to show me that rather than reacting off impulse, rather than reacting with straight anger or trying to match that type of level of animosity, it's like, talk to me. tell me what it is. I can't stand when people talk behind my back. I can't stand when people laugh, giggle, gossip, do subliminals. I can't stand that, because that shows more about you than whatever you're trying to say about me, in my mind. But you can't hold that against people. That's what God told me. It's like, and that's where I struggle a lot, because it's like, bro, you telling me I gotta turn the other cheek. You telling me I gotta let these people try me. You telling me that I gotta continue to show love when people are trying to get that type of reaction out of me. And my temper, I've put so much work in on my temper. So for you to try to knock that off and remove that type of peace from me, I really take that personally. But you know, it's not something that I'm just crash out about. Like, my family is the only thing that really just, I don't care what was said, my family's off limits, you know. So grudges, I put in a lot of work on that. But again, catch yourself in the moment. And if you got to, just reconcile. Talk through it, work it out, and you got it. Speak insults to others. Now, that's me, because I don't do it to anybody regardless. But you know, when you're younger, of course you do. Everybody got a nickname, everybody got an insult for you. Y'all got y'all roast sessions, y'all go back and forth. Or as my girl from Philly like to say, y'all like bidding, stuff like that. Like, everybody does it, you know. Everybody got their little banter here and there. But I feel like that's more so if you're genuinely trying to tear down somebody's character. Like if you're really trying to, you know, hurt them or curse them, stuff like that. So that's a, you know, fine line, like, that you don't cross. It's like, if it gets to the point where you're trying to demean that person, cut it out. But you know, if it's friendly banter between two people, I don't really see an issue with that. But you gotta take that up with God, not me. It's His word, not mine. Come to terms with your accuser. If somebody's accusing you of doing something, talk it out. I'm assuming that's what that means. Make peace with your brothers, or he uses like him, he, the man, like he uses that term in the Bible a lot, but I kind of universalize it, so he or she. Make peace with them. You know, there's no reason of having some type of animosity towards people in this life. It's too short. Everybody has too much struggle going on. It's too much lying going on, especially from the government. Like, it's literally no time for having some type of issue or quarrel with somebody else, especially if it's over something goofy and irrelevant, you know. So make peace in terms with your brother or sister. Avoid committing adultery, looking at any woman with evil desire, or you've already committed the act in your heart. I heard this a lot, especially as a kid. I was exposed to lust and sex really, really young, so I struggled with that heavily, really, really heavily. Because when you see something that looks good to you, immediately it goes to your mind. So it's like, in that moment, you have to give her respect back. Is how my father and grandfathers, they would put it. You know, look at it, but you know, give her respect back at the end. But you know, a lot of people, it's like it goes further than that. It goes towards, damn, what can I say to, you know, get with her? What can I say that could probably turn this into a different direction? I imagine what this would be like if this was to happen between us. If we were in this scenario, that's where it starts to get, you know, off limits. Because God is like, you've already done it in your heart, and I can see that, especially the older I get. So it's dangerous. Everybody does it, men and women. We all see things that look good. We all see people that look good. But it's important to respect yourself, respect that person, and not let it, you know, take you out of your good and moral character. It says, flee from lust. Cut off your hand, cut out your eye if it tempts you to sin. You know, he's not saying, you know, okay, lust is going to happen, but you know, you can deal with it. No, he's not giving lust a lighthearted approach at all. Run from it. Run the opposite direction, because you're not strong enough to face that. The more you keep deleting and re-downloading the app, the more you keep entertaining certain conversations, the more you keep following certain pages, the more you go outside to the beach when it's summertime because you know what you're finna go see, the more you entertain it, the stronger it's gonna get. And I've struggled with it for over 10 years, bro. It's serious. Like, it's really serious. And a lot of people get put in dangerous situations where their lives are affected or taken because they couldn't control their eyes or their mouths. So please be careful, take a second thought, and do better. You know, flee. Don't play with it. Flee. The last section is kind of like, I'm not going to say general, but it does go into a lot more detail with fewer examples. So, divorce your wife properly with certificate or under grounds of unfaithfulness, adultery, or remarrying in the spirit. So, I kind of got from that. Basically, once you're married to whatever the first person you married under, it's like you're indebted to each other. Honestly, like you're locked in with each other as long as it's in the spirit. I had to talk to my dad about that because he's like, outside of the spirit, no, that doesn't really apply. If you both are in the spirit, then that's that person that you married. You pretty much no go. You guys work it out. You figure out a way to love each other. You figure out a way to reconcile. But it says if that does come to pass, there are certain things like you do it under certificate. So I guess in law, under the court properly, you don't just dismiss or ghost each other. Grounds of unfaithfulness, so cheating, adultery. If you can't work it out, one of you has to leave. It's all good with God. Again, it's just my understanding. If I'm wrong, correct me. Do not swear falsely, but make oaths unto God. So don't be like, boy, I swear to God, boy, I swear I got you if I do that. Like, he don't take too kindly to that, because I think that's using his name in vain. But, you know, make an oath unto God. God, I will keep my word with this. I will do what I can to make sure I stay consistent with this. I'll stand your word with this. I make an oath that I'm going to spend 20 minutes in a prayer closet today or every day with you. Like, have that type of dialogue and conversation with God. Let your yes mean yes and your no mean no. Self-explanatory. If it's a yes, leave it at that. If it's a no, leave it at that. Because it says if you try to go into more detail, it's a lie. You know, it's unnecessary. So yes, yes, no, no. See. If someone strikes your jaw, turn to them the other cheek. God forgive me, because I have not gotten to that point in my journey yet. If you strike this cheek, you will not get the chance to hit another one. That's just me personally. But I get what he's saying. You know, that's the love of Christ. Christ wouldn't hurt anybody. Christ wouldn't put anybody in a situation where they have to defend themselves. Jesus went through what he went through and didn't say anything. And if you've seen like the Passion of the Christ, or you actually read in the Bible what happened to Jesus, I don't know one person that can do that and continuously turn the other cheek. You can't rip pieces of my beard out. You can't spit on me, spit in my face. Like, you can't. And whip me, chain me, put a crown of thorns on me, beat me until my spine is showing, until my intestines are hanging out, stab me, laugh at me, mock me. Like, I couldn't do it. I wouldn't be doing that. I look, forgive me, God, I don't got it in me, you know, but that's the level he wants us to aspire to. That's the level he wants us to reach. If he did that for us, we have to be willing to do that for him and other people, just like he did. That's what he expects. That's the standard. But I haven't got there. I wasn't raised that way. The most spiritual people in my family, I don't know if they ever turned the other cheek like that, especially the religious or spiritual ones in my family. We not cheek turners. That's just not us. But, we can only aspire to be better, okay? For those that wish to see you for your shirt, give them the coat also. If someone asks you for something, give them more. Give them more than what they're expecting. Bless them willingly, generously, give generously. So, me personally, I don't like displaying it a lot. I don't even like looking around when I do, but I have a lot of homeless people come up to me and interact with me, especially while I'm at work. And they ask for a meal, they ask for something to eat, they ask for some change. I don't keep cash on me, but I'm always willing to get somebody a meal if I got it, of course. So I see a lot of people shun them, turn them away, ignore them, talk bad to them, and that affects me. That affects me really, really badly. Because it's like, who are you to try to treat somebody like that or look down on somebody that much? Who do you think you are, honestly? And I see it a lot. I see it all the time. So whenever somebody asks me for something, asks if I can get them a meal or something like that, I always say, all right, go ahead and order. And then they get like maybe one or two things. I'd be like, that's all. You know, this is your shot. Go ahead, go crazy. Not too crazy, but you know, get more than what you're asking for. So that's what God is expecting of us, and that's what I try to practice. You know, if someone forces you to go a mile, you willingly go two. Again, it's kind of more like give more than what's asked of you. You know, so rather than use the homeless analogy, I say work. If your boss or if your business or your employees are asking more of you, asking you to come in earlier, stay later, do more this shift than you did last week's shift, or pick up somebody else's shift, you do that and then some. That's what God is expecting you to do. A cheerful giver, you know, somebody who can step to the plate, somebody who can handle it, because He wouldn't offer you that opportunity if you couldn't handle it. So the fact that He expects that of you, the fact that you have the opportunity to accept or decline, He expects you to accept it with grace and show people, no matter what you're asking me, I can handle it. I serve God. God got me. He gave me the body to where I can handle it. He gave me the body and the mind and the ability and the skill to where I can exceed any expectation, no matter when you ask or what you ask me to do. So that's more, I would say, a more elaborate version of that. Because a lot of people say, I ain't picking up no extra shift, I'm going home. I just did 12 and you want me to do extra 4? Nah, I'm straight. I get that, but again, take it up with God. It's His word, not mine. Do not turn away a beggar. Borrowing, give generously. We already covered that. Have your enemies, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. Self-explanatory. People that don't like you, your haters, your ops, whatever it is, love them. Pray for them. You know, you might not be able to speak to them without it taking some type of turn, but you can always pray for them. You ain't got to go up to them, I'm going to pray for you. You ain't got to do that, but I mean, you can, in your own time or in the moment of where they're trying to shun you, blood of Jesus, be with them. I don't know what happened during their day. I don't know what's got them rubbed the wrong way. God be with them. There's this dude, yes, perfect example. It's a dude he be getting on my bus from time to time, and he's always mad. It could be a slight detour. The bus driver make one wrong turn. What is he doing? He must be taking this route. He must be doing, see, I can't do this. He sprayed his cologne on the bus because it stank. A girl told him that's not really gonna help much. And he was like, oh, well, something gotta be done. And he kept spraying. When she got off the bus, he didn't call her all type of bees. He didn't call her all types of hoes. He didn't went into a whole thing of women these days don't go. I'm like, bro, why are you so mad? Like, why are you so angry, bro? But you never know. You don't know what somebody's going through. So love your enemies. Love those who persecute you. Pray for those, you know, that persecute you. Be generous, because that might be the one thing that they need to switch their mindset, to switch their character. Because if you meet negativity with negativity, it's only going to reap disaster. But if you meet positivity with negativity, there's no telling what change can come from that. Continuously grow into complete maturity of godliness in mind and character, reaching proper heights of virtue and integrity. So, Matthew chapter 5, overall what I feel I learned is that it's a lot expected of you, and it may be more than what's fair, but you're capable. God has a standard set for you if you claim to follow him, if you claim to want to be like him, if you claim to want to be a blessing to people, if you claim to want to be the good, be the light in the world. God will bless you for that, but it will not come easy. But you will be equipped. You will come equipped. So continue to do good, continue to do right, continue to bless people, continue to pray for people, especially the enemies, especially the persecutors, and you will be blessed for it. That's pretty much the main thing that I learned from it. Any takeaways, any other lessons that I have before I go? Not really. I'm still in a point where I'm making adjustments. I'm confused. I'm annoyed. I'm in the process of deciding what I really want my future to look like, because it's like it changes every few months or so. But I'm trying, and I'm still striving to be better. Definitely striving to be good and better to people, and it's only up from there. So with that being said, God, thank you for bringing all these people to this video. Thank you for every person under the sound of my voice, and I ask that you please bless them, continue to bring them to and from their destination safely. I ask that you bless them with any dream, any goal, anything that's in your will for them. Bring it to them with full fruition, full positivity, full force. God, I ask that you please be with us, guide us, and go before us in each and every day, each and every journey, each and every word, each and every dream. I ask that you please continue to protect us, continue to guide us, continue to grow us and mold us into the people, men and women that you called us to be. Hear my prayers, oh God. Do not ignore my pleas. I believe and receive all these things by faith. It's in Jesus' name I pray. It's in Yeshua's name I pray. Amen. God bless you all. Love, peace, positivity. I'll see you in the next episode.